Let's see if it's on. Refresh. Okay, perfect. All right. Down switch. Add. Okay, so we're back at it again. Some Mario Golf. Hi, Oliver. Oh, I have a package from USPS? No, it's not mine, it's my brother's. Okay, never mind. There was an expense posted to your checking. Okay. Okay, so we know that this place is going to be under construction. Oh, it's the withdrawal. Yeah, I remember that. Three items from Mabel? I got it. Don't worry. I got it, Oliver. Hey, you know, you want to call? Want to voice chat while I stream? Question mark. I mean, why the heck not, right? Oh, thank you. Let me see if I got space in my pockets. I do. Well, thank you. Sure. Shooting the shit. It's whatever. Okay, cool. Let's see. Call? I need to, like, lower this volume a little bit.
Bro?
Hey, how are you? So what's been new?
Not much. Chilling, you know how it is. Eat, sleep, work, rinse,
Right.
repeat.
My sister is kind of nervous for me to move back to San Diego, but I'm like, I want to do this program that I'm doing right now. I'm taking classes, and this class I have to take requires me to be in person. I can't say. Also, just because, like, I feel like my time in Philly is kind of, like, starting to come to, like, you know how things come in life in phases, and you just go in and out?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
Especially when you're old like me.
well, it's like anything in life, you have to learn to adapt to change, and even though we don't like the idea that things change in life, we want to think that stay constant. They do, like, change gradually, whether we like to admit it or not.
Oh, agreed.
So, let's see what they're selling today. This dress looks ugly, but I guess I'll buy it. Let's see what else they got. I have to buy 3 items from Mabel for her to move to my island? What did he say? He said, you need to buy 3 items from Mabel. I'm pretty sure I did. I'll buy these steel-toed boots. Let's see. Hi,
Sorry,
Byron. What's up?
So I said sorry, I'm vaping if my
It's all good. You're not vaping in my face, or, I don't think vaping, can be spread over voice chat, but, I appreciate for letting me know.
Oh, it's the noise, man.
I didn't even notice. Someone saying, can we join? I mean, I'm gonna open Gate shortly. I'll probably make a dodo code. Let's see here. Let's see. Open this gift. Cinnamon roll sofa. Tankless toilet. Ooh, I got a shower set. Oh, but do I like the shower set? It's kind of meh. Okay, I got another Nick Miles gift. Oh, for spending bells, okay. And then they give me a bonus for talking to villagers. Miles for miles, nice. I can street pass 1K me characters just on 2DS. You can? Honestly, the 3DS, like, the Street Pass feature was one of the best things that Nintendo came with it. But it was definitely very underutilized. Did you ever have a 3DS?
No, actually, I think my daughter did. I was like, my portable video game that I grew up with was a Game Gear. So,
No, it's legit. Like, it was definitely a good console, except it had, the only issue was it needed, like, how many batteries, and then it would only run for, like, how long?
it wasn't too bad. Like, it run for about 2 or 3 hours on battery. Um, which wasn't too bad, but you just had to buy a whole slew of them. But if you're real smart, like my parents, they had I had the car adapter, I had the wall adapter, so it wasn't. It was actually I still have it. It's somewhere over on my pile of things I need to fix.
Yeah.
Same with I've got like 3 Nintendos. I'm fixing 2. I'm almost done the one, so I'll actually be able to play
When
it.
you mean
Unfortunately,
Nintendos, do you mean Switches or something else?
the NES,
Oh, nice.
like the actual NES, like I've got my original NES, which still works. I have my original Super Nintendo, which still works. I do not have a 64. I do have a GameCube, but it's in the back. It needs to be fixed. The laser's screwed, and the motor, which
Hmm.
holds the CDs, it's screwed. So once I find the parts, I'll replace those. But yeah, like I've got a myriad of systems. My PlayStation 1, my PlayStation 2, I still have those. I've got 2 Sega Genesis floating around somewhere. I'm a collector, right? So I collect, I fix, and I sell. So if I can get the parts to repair most of the stuff,
Yeah. Hmm.
they're getting it's getting really hard to locate the parts to repair a lot of these things, and it's my soldering skills aren't the greatest. So, but it's definitely fun for a hobby.
I'm sure. What was I gonna say? Is it cheap though? Like, is it cheap to like do that kind of stuff, or is it kind of costly?
It depends.
Yeah.
If it's something simple, like a lot of the times, believe it or not, you'll pick one up for like $5 or $10, like at a garage sale or something, and it's something dumb, like it's just missing adapters, and you'll open them up and they're clean as a whistle. So you go buy an adapter, bring her home, plug it in. If it works, great. Um, Another thing is like if the um, connectors on the inside of the actual unit are busted, they're a
Hmm.
really easy fix. So some solder and some spare time, solder them together, and you're off and running. Costs you next to nothing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I'm actually just configuring an emulator right now.
Let's see. Round Space Heater, Festivale stall. I mean, I got my second floor. I don't know what I want to decorate it with yet. We can go to the next cranny. I gotta open the gates though. Yes, I will open them. Ooh, pots and pans. I need them for my kitchen. So let's see. Does your daughter play Animal Crossing?
No, my son's actually got the Switch. He plays, believe it or not, he plays like Fortnite, Super Mario, stuff like that.
Yeah. I never really got into Fortnite. I mean, I see some of the appeal. It's just not my thing. I mean, maybe I'm just a boomer of gaming and I just like certain games and Fortnite just didn't scream at me.
Same here. Like well, you've seen the games I play. A lot of FPSs, um, a lot of retro stuff like Shinobi, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario Brothers, stuff like
Right.
that.
I do feel like, though, like, when you grow up with certain games, and as you get older, your likelihood to pick up certain games kind of decreases because you're gonna tend to like certain games or franchise. Like some of your perspective on gaming is gonna be a bit I'm trying to think of the right words. It's gonna be a bit focused in certain directions, and like I would say, like I was mainly grew up on Nintendo. I did get to experience like some Sony and Microsoft, and of course I love Sega. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like you only have so much time to play so many games as a kid because you're in school. And even if you did have more time, it's like, do I really want to spend all my day playing video games? Because like there was this guy that played video games, I think, for 74 hours straight, and he killed himself that way. And I was like, that's
Huh.
not a way I want to die playing video games. It's kind of sad.
Is that a thing? I did not know that happened.
So apparently he sat down for too long. He didn't get up to stretch. He didn't get up to eat, and didn't get up to drink.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta be pretty hardcore. Like, I mean, me and my cousins, we used to do three or 4 day marathons during the summer,
Yeah.
and like these marathons would last. I mean, during sittings, what was the last one we beat? I think the last game we did this with was Super Ghosts and Goblins, I believe. We actually beat that
I
game.
think I know that one. Is that the one where you're like in armor and if you get hit once?
Yep.
That one?
Yeah, we were pretty hardcore. We actually beat it. And we'll sit there for 3 or 4 days. And believe it or not, think about this for a minute. So at the time, I would have been 36, which would have made my cousin 40, 43, and my other cousin 43. We're all married, all have kids. And we literally took a weekend off, went over to my cousin's place, and we played for 3 days straight. So this means we're playing in shifts because it's a one-player game, right?
Yeah.
So my oldest cousin would go first, and he'd play for so much, and then he'd get up and make coffee, and then I'd play for so much, and then I'd get up and I'd make coffee, and then my other cousin would play. But never did we sit there and not move. I couldn't imagine not doing that. I mean, you
Like at
can't.
least stretch, you know? Like move your
Yeah,
joints around and such.
yeah, like that's insane. That is absolutely insane. Why is this not working? Sorry, I was busy trying to configure this emulator so I can play games later.
Yeah.
It's just not working for me.
Alright, let's see if I can put this in my house. Yeah, I can hang on the wall. It's rude to redecorate while you have company. I did check the mail, Oliver. Did you send me more stuff? Oh, I forgot to learn the hedge stand. Birthday sign. Place item. I guess I'll keep this up for a second. For like a while. I actually got to remake my bedroom in Animal Crossing, which is nice. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. What is in my bedroom? I think if I remember, did I put the TV up? I put a TV up, I put a table up with my Switch on it, so I can play games. If I really wanted to like emulate my room, I would put a table that's long enough to fit a Switch and a computer, and then a hanging TV, which would kind of like be close because even though the TV is like technically not hanging, it's on the same desk as like my desk has my Switch, my laptop, and my TV. So I was gonna ask, what did you think of the OLED Switch?
It's not bad. I was reading some of the reviews, and apparently they're doing a better job than what Sony did with the original the
Yeah,
PSP and the Vita, which is actually quite impressive. Um,
yeah,
but I mean, you're dealing with two Japanese companies. But I find that they've done they've done a really good job with the refresh rates and stuff as in comparison to the Sony, which is, like I said, again impressive.
I kind of feel like it's a bit of a half step for me. It could definitely be a bit better. I don't know, there's no 4K. I think that would have been helpful.
Well,
And,
given the amount of given the graphical limitations of the Switch, I don't think it would make that much of a difference to have 4K. To be fair, so I think Nintendo made a wise decision by not including 4K.
maybe. We'll see.
But
I
yeah,
am
again,
curious, is it like less risk of burnout? The Joy-Cons aren't going to, like drift as much?
um, more than likely,
Yeah,
the Joy Cons are going to drift. I think they're going to no matter what because of manufacturing.
right.
What Nintendo has to do is they have to get back into. They're probably getting a third-party manufacturer, and a lot of companies get third-party manufacturers, and they got to stop doing that. To be fair, especially for a Japanese company, they pride themselves on quality, right? Um,
Mostly.
so they if they were smart, they would just make sure that they were produced properly. That's all. That'll fix the drift. I mean, it's probably done by the same company who's making the PlayStation 4 controllers, and there's been issues with drift.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming that's more than likely the problem. They can fix that
possibly.
though.
Puppy plushie dinosaur. Doll cap. Peach surprise box. Let's talk to this Puddles. Hi there, Splish. You're out for a walk. Yeah, I walked earlier and hoped you could trendsetter. Can you pick up 30 branches? Okay, I can pick up 30 branches. So I played Mario Golf yesterday, and it kind of felt like a chore.
Um,
I
I
don't know
think
why. I like playing Mario Golf, but this one, did you play the newer one?
no, I haven't.
And I love
I don't.
Mario Golf, but I feel like the running mechanic is kind of meh. Like, it doesn't feel like as rewarding as what they're, when they did the presentation, it looked very cool, it looked like a very fresh idea, but then when it's put into to practice, I guess it's fun in multiplayer, I'm sure multiplayer it's fun, but, like, the actual mechanic itself, by itself, is kind of rather blah. Like, there's no real benefit to hitting your ball faster. It's not like you gain any extra benefit. I mean, you might be able to gain coins, which can be used to buy stuff, but other than that, it's not like there's not like an extra point system of like, oh, if you can hit the ball faster before anybody else, you're gonna get more points and you're gonna get this. It's like, no, it's still only stroke based.
Mm, well, I think that's. I don't play much golf. Like, to be fair, but I mean, Nintendo's golf games have been pretty damn good, and I haven't had a chance to um, play golf on the Switch.
Yeah. I mean, it plays fine. I think I had a complaint that you couldn't do like the mega top spin where the ball rolls forward the way it's supposed to. You can only do mega backspin. Which
Right.
I could see that being kind of an annoyance. Oh, I got mail again. Really? No, I don't. I don't have mail. I have no mail. Let's see. I mean, it's not a bad I mean, I'm trying to think what my least favorite Mario Golf game.
Did you play the
Uh,
one on the NES?
I actually did. You know what? It's a relic of its time. I'm not gonna like knock on it. I played the Game Boy Color one. That one was kind of similar, but I think the thing that separated the Color one from the NES one was the fact that the Color one at least had the story progression. Because you were a student at this academy, and you were a golf student, and you were taking classes to learn how to become a better golf professional. And like eventually you'd verse Mario, and that's how the game would end. And they kind of did the same thing in Color for tennis. Like you'd
Yes.
take place in a tournament, you'd win the tournament, and after they'd be like, "Oh, you got a special invitation to play with Mario," and then you beat Mario, and that's the end of the game. Which is actually a pretty good way to end the game. I have to say, like, I don't know how else you would end the game after you beat like a mega tournament. I guess you verse like a Nintendo character, and it's really really good. I liked the human characters in the 64 one. I kind of missed that. I mean, Maple was one of my favorite characters. She hit straight, and she did every time I would do her like 269 power shot. I could like get into the holes. My brother would make jokes that I was Annika Sorenstam all the time. He's like, Annika Sorenstam is just so amazing in this game, and I was like, Bobby, please. And he's like, Annika Sorenstam is just absolutely ruining this course and is just completely tearing it up.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
I did remember, I think I actually got an albatross. Do you know what that is?
No.
So that's a double eagle. So that's when you make it in 2 strokes on a par 5. So on a par 5, if you make it in 4, it's a birdie. 3, it's an eagle. And 2, it's either double eagle or albatross. And so there's another thing. If you can make it on 2 strokes on a par 6, it's called a condor. So I think let me see if I can look that up. I doubt they're gonna have this in Mario Golf. So golf condor. Yeah, but you have to be really lucky. Uh,
Or good. Don't sell yourself short. Sometimes you're just good.
I mean, you'd have to have the wind blowing in your direction, a strong enough shot, and the ball would have to roll straight into the hole. Has a condor ever happened in golf? The most recent condor was in December 20th, 2020, by Kevin Pond on the 667-yard par 6, 18th hole. This is the only recorded condor to have happened. A condor is an uncommon in golf that bookmakers don't even offer odds on such a feat. Oh, there's an ostrich? What's that? To describe the completion of a hole using 5 less strokes than par. In other words, the golfer must place the ball in the hole on the very first shot attempt. That is so rare. And they even have turkey in golf. Really? Usually I associate turkey with bowling, and you get 3 strikes in a row, that's a turkey.
Yeah.
What golfer has the most hole-in-ones? Uh, Davis holds... Davis? I don't know what's his name. Davis, what's his last name? Record for hole-in-ones in 1967. I think I was playing PAX West, PAX Prime, and Mansell Davis, 51.
Wow.
51 hole-in-ones. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock that.
I definitely couldn't do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. In my Mario Golf game on my 64, I think I got 3. And mostly, like, I had really luck shots. Like, the wind blew the right way. I managed to guess the trajectory of the ball correctly. Hey, what Nick Island are you on? Oh, what's my code? I don't think I have a dodo code on this one. So, let's see here.
Ouch.
Pond Skater. Yeah, most of the Mario Golf games are good. I played 64, I played Toadstool Tour, I played World Tour on the 3DS. That's probably one of my favorite ones. And then they had the DLC, and I was pretty blown away that they brought back the old holes. I will say this, I kind of prefer Mario Golf World Tour over Mario Tennis on the 3DS. Even though Tennis is a faster paced game, I think they definitely fleshed out some of the features. Because the issue with the Mario Tennis game on the 3DS, they didn't bring back the Academy. It was just, you played as your Mii and you played in tournaments. And it was only tournament mode. So it's like they stripped the Academy feature out. And like, that story, that career progression, was honestly the best thing the game had on handheld. And it was like, why would you take that out, Nintendo? Like, that is the best part of your game. I guess Camelot, really. Why did Camelot take that out? I have no idea why, but I guess they decided it was, someone wants to be friends with me. Yeah, probably not this stream. I'm trying to think if I have anything else that I can put up on my island.
Like, what kind of crossovers are in Animal Crossing as far as video?
So they got Mario on the 3DS one. They had a lot. They had like Zelda items. They had Star Fox items. They had I don't think they had Fire Emblem, which is a shame. That was a missed property. They had a Wario item. They had Mario stuff. Yoshi. They had Metroid from Samus. On the GameCube, you could actually, they had emulation. You could play old NES games.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. You know, I do understand why they took it away in future, because they brought Virtual Console, but it would have been nice if, like, in your game, you could virtually have, like, a decoration that's an NES toy.
Well, the thing is if you already have, I don't know why Nintendo didn't do this, because you have the retro console on the Switch.
Yeah.
And it already exists. You could create you could create an API that would allow you to use the games that you've already purchased to play inside Animal Crossing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you would have a decoration, like a little NES. You'd have a little NES console in your game to like access in your home, and it'd be like, oh, do you want to play this game inside Animal Crossing? It's like, oh yeah, cool, and I'm playing inside Animal Crossing. It's kind of like Gameception. So
yeah.
Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think, but I'm like totally, mind is slightly mush. Mom's kitchen mat, surfboard, Papa Bear, whoopee cushion, snow globe. Yeah, I think I'm good on these items. Gold helmet, crown. Peach surprise box. Oh yeah, that's Chevrolet's house. I think one game that comes to mind that always makes me laugh is... Have you ever played Sonic Boom?
I don't think so.
It's terrible. Like, that's my first thing that's gonna come out of my mouth. The thing that makes me laugh about that game is... So, it was E3 2014, and
Right.
Sonic, the Sega booth was very huge on Sonic Boom game. So I play it, and there's like a ton of glitches in this game. I mean, we're talking every single step I took, I either fell, or I get hit by like some invisible item or enemy, and it would be weird. And then like, I'd ask a question, and they'd say, oh, the game's in development. I'm like, I'm not sure that's the kind of thing you want to showcase on the show floor. Like, I know like technical bugs sometimes plague games, but like, if it's that bad, it's probably not good enough for demo. You know what I mean? Like, if you have that kind of game as your showpiece, that's probably a bad sign. So then it comes to PAX West, which is a couple months later. This is I want to say, so now we go from June to basically September, and the game is still riddled with bugs and frame rate problems. And they're still telling me, yeah, it's really sad. And they're still telling me that it's gonna get better. And I'm like, my hope's very low. So then Comic-Con, which is I think the next month, and then it gets even worse, as in no upgrades have to happen. And I just look at it and I'm like, oh god, this game is gonna get horrible. Awful. Like, and I wasn't surprised when, like, everyone was giving it 2 out of 10s, and they're like, even worse than Sonic 06, and the Sonic 06 was pretty awful.
Well, the
But
thing is they've overplayed, like in a bid to make money off of a, believe it or not, an absolutely amazing IP. They've they've tried to rush things out in order to keep themselves afloat,
pretty much.
and
It's kind of like Pokemon, in my opinion.
yeah, Pokemon's getting there. It's like I remember I had to order Pokemon from Nintendo for my original Game Boy, um, from Japan. And I mean, I was really looking forward to that. I didn't realize it would get as big as it did, to be honest. And you're absolutely right. They're playing the shit out of stuff like that, like all the old titles. It's like, I don't know. It's like they can't seem to make anything new. But that's the problem with a lot of developers these days. There's no real new stuff coming out. Like everyone's playing off of old IPs, which is problematic. Good news is that there's lots of indie developers. So
Yeah, there is a lot of indie developers. Uh, it is a shame they kind of screwed that up. I mean, they did kind of. I'm trying to think. They did redeem themselves with Mania a little bit, which was good. But then they released Forces, and it's like Forces was kind of an improvement over over Boom, but not by a whole lot. I think the problem was they just thought that oh, we just need to focus on forward momentum and less on everything else in the game. And it's like, no, there's more than just forward momentum in a Sonic game. There's platforming, there's enemies, and I mean, they tried, but it's like, if the game was released in maybe 2007 or 8, it'd probably be revered as a good game, but because it's in 2017, your expectations are kind of higher. You expect more from the Sonic game. It's like, well, you kind of went in the right direction, but the game's too short, and like, but some of the levels, well, my issue when I was playing, I think, Forces at E3, was some people, so there was no time limit on the demo, and people would play that game for 20, 30 minutes. I was like, just play one level and leave. Like, I'm trying to get my stamps to get, like, because they had a stamp system to get, like, games, and it's like, why do people need to play this game longer than 20 minutes? There's no need. Like, just play one level, you got in your taste, you move on. You know, like, even like with the Zelda demo, actually the Zelda demo was really well done. I will say that. You did have to get in line the first thing. Like, I got like 3 Zelda shirts, and I remember I gave 2 away, but I kept 1 for myself. So.
oh, nice.
And
I've never been to one of those things.
E3.
Usually, yeah, I've never been. I've only been to like a couple of conferences, but usually as a developer, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of boring, but I mean, and they're not nearly as huge as like E3 or PAX or any of those things.
Yeah.
You're really lucky to have been able to go and test those things out. Like that's insane. The fact that you've even been able to go to those things. Like I didn't actually, believe it or not, up until now, I didn't realize you had done that tour. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah, I think I have some videos on my channel of E3. I don't know if I have any. I can check. I have to look them up.
It's a shame that they're no longer doing. They're sort of trying to phase them out, and it wasn't even a COVID thing. Because I remember before that they were starting to fade them out, and I was kind of depressed about it a little bit because I was really looking forward to, eventually once I get one of my games off the ground. Like I was really looking forward to going. It's unfortunate, but I mean, you still got PAX and stuff. So with E3 going the way of the dodo, at least we still have like all the cons. That'll save the.
What's gonna save the cons?
Like PAX and stuff. Like the cons are still there, but it's the trade shows that are sort of going away. But they're being replaced by cons, which is really nice. Like
So I had a video where I think I called it, what's it called? E3 2016, 100-meter dash to Nintendo booth Legend of Zelda.
Oh fuck! I'll check that out. I'll check it out.
Yeah, here, let me link it to you, and I'll send it to
Yeah,
you.
sure.
And it was funny because like the doors open. Let me check the timestamp when the doors open, and I'm running like hell. I'm running like hell. It was at the 1 minute mark. We were like, we're gonna walk slowly. We're gonna walk slowly. Guy like crazy. Get to the fucking booth. Get to the fucking booth.
He's knocking over old ladies.
I mean, we didn't knock. There was no old ladies. I mean, I think the only time I ever saw an old lady get something Nintendo when I was at GameStop in 2011 for the 3DS. But I was like running as fast as I could, and of course the line fills up like crazy. But I'm trying to think. I waited maybe an hour. I have to be honest. Like 2016 was kind of a dismal year for E3 because that was the only game I wanted to play. And once I played it, I was like, okay, do I really want to go in line? Because the line's already backed up, and it's like I could wait 6, 7 hours to play Zelda again, or maybe tour. I think I ended up. Okay, so this is gonna get a bit raunchy, but I think I hooked up with someone. Like that was how bored I was. I was just, you know what? I'm just gonna have a hookup. Like this is how boring it is. Like I'm just gonna get laid. Like
Well, I mean, there's it works, right?
yeah.
You should be
So
bored.
no, I wasn't. I mean explicitly. So I think I explained that the E3 Gamer Pass is definitely a bad value. It's not very good. It's not. It's not a great pass. There's a lot of problems with it. Oh yeah, I had my Zelda demo. I put that in. That was cool. That got some views. But it's like, my channel's gonna get nothing on views when I go to E3. Like, even if I, like, was more aggressive, I look back on my channel, and I definitely know what I would do differently. But I feel like, the way you have to be a good YouTuber, you have to be a day one Let's Player. That's part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't play the game day one, you are fucked. And then, like,
That's
with
what happened.
and then with
This
E3,
guy.
if you don't demo the game and then gut shop upload, like basically upload the video as soon as you take it, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you have to upload the video as soon as you take it. No edits, nothing. And then it's like, and everyone's like, because I think, I'm trying to remember, because I did, I think, some of the Just Dance stuff. Granted, the problem with Just Dance is like, I'm gonna get flagged for copyright because of the music.
Yep.
That's like one of the downsides, but it will get a lot of views. Like it's kind of like a double-edged sword if I do Just Dance, because like I'll get views, but I won't get any money off it, and I won't get like anything like that. I think that. Well, go on.
If you're building your brand, the views work, right? But I'm by no means a successful YouTuber. But I
Right.
mean, depends on what you're trying to do, right? Like as marketing, from a marketing standpoint, it'll work, right?
To a degree, to an extent. I think it's like you have to have a successful formula, and you also have to have a good personality. Because there was one person that I was friends with that I just remembered. Uh, he was obnoxious as all hell, and I just remember being around him. It was just like a pain in the ass. And I look at his channel, and it's like his like kind of only doing like for his numbers, they're kind of abysmal. I'm not even gonna say I'm doing great because I have like 25K subs for some reason, and I only get like maybe 100 views on a video if I'm lucky. I haven't
No,
really.
it's the same with me. Like I think I'm at sitting at 145, but I mean I play No Man's Sky. Like come on. You know, I just stream for fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I stream for fun, and I find that like of my 145, I get maybe 19. So if you're getting 100 and some views for for the size of your channel, that's still pretty good. I mean,
Mm.
that's pretty good retention. It's about the same amount of retention that I'm getting with mine. So it seems to be like that seems to be kind of like the formula. Like if you look at huge channels, um, it's about 10 to 15% of the actual subscribers are viewing it, but not all at the same time. It's not necessarily the same 10%,
Yeah.
but on average you retain 10%. which is kind of good. And I mean, if you're able to retain above 10%, it means you're doing something right, right? So that's, I mean, I think you're doing fine. I like watching you. Like
Thank you.
you're interactive. You talk
I
to your viewers. You're
I do my
kind.
best. I do
You're
my
kind.
best.
A lot of people are not like me. I am a huge asshole. But that's part of my shtick, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you are. If you know that someone's gonna be a jerk and rude, like that's fine. I guess I don't know. I just thought it was funny how like I managed to get Tipster to cover my ex-friend's divorce situation. The best part of that whole situation was I feel a little guilty of being salty on it, but I just look at it and I'm like, I can't say I'm surprised because you kind of were an ass. So yeah, like I'm sorry. Like he was not the nicest person, and of course, like I made a video commenting on it. I was like, oh yeah, I had several altercations where your ego would just basically explode everywhere, and it would be all about you. So,
Yeah.
am I really surprised that the situation happened the way it did with you? No, because you like to present yourself as this like really humble person, but in reality, it's like you like to show off that you have X amount of subs, X amount of this, and that you're more accomplished than other people just because you day one Let's Play. And it's like, I'm not saying like day one Let's Playing should be, um, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because it's like, am I criticizing day one Let's Playing? No. I'm just saying, like, it'll get your foot in the door, but it's not gonna get people to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well,
Like,
you get people to stay, right? That's how
right.
it works.
Generally speaking, that's how it's supposed to happen. It's not, he made a video where he was like critiquing like the what's it called, the COPPA thing, and he just said, when people come to my videos, they come for me, and I'm like, no, they don't come for you. They come to you because you uploaded first. And it's like, and then after a while, like after like they've seen your shtick and they get to your personality, like I'm dropping this guy, and then they move on to the next thing. Because if you look at his views, they're pretty consistent in that
Pretty abysmal.
yeah, like, I mean, he's got almost 900,000 subs, and, like, if I go to his channel right now, see, where's he sitting at? So he's playing, oh, I don't want to hear his voice, okay. So he's at 893k views. His last Mario Golf video hit 3.4k. His first video on Mario Golf hit 22k. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? That's kind of low, isn't it?
Low-ish, like in comparison to some.
And then it's like, granted, I get how, like, you tend to see that, like, views have a certain caveat. Like, when you start a Let's Play, your first video and your last video are always going to be your best. Because everyone wants to see the boss, and everyone wants to see, like, where you started. But most of the time, like, when you go through, like, it's hard to keep up the Let's Play. That's for sure.
I don't think I've ever finished one except for Shinobi 3. And that was a classic game. I've never finished an actual Let's Play. I've tried, but, I mean, you've seen my work schedule.
Yeah.
Just getting the time to actually sit down and do one is insane.
So as far as, like, Let's Plays go for my channel, I finish most of mine consistently. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect with everyone. I recently finished, I mean, Animal Crossing, I wouldn't really count it completely. I would say just completing your house debt, that already guarantees you a win in my book. If you can do that, especially in this new one, I would say end game for this game, because it technically doesn't end. But if I had to, like, say, what is end game for New Horizons? I would say getting your island to 3 stars and getting KK Slider to island, because that nets you a credit screen. And anything that's a credit screen, in my opinion, is endgame. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Once you get a credit screen, theoretically speaking, the fastest Mario playthrough, I think, is like 20 seconds. or something like that, and the guy, um, and this is counts as fastest finish. Well, fastest glitch finish because he figured out that you could kill so many turtles, and then you pick up a turtle shell, hit something somewhere, and then do another one. This is on on the first level, and it would bring you to the credits. He knew how to hack the memory using different items, and it's technically speaking, it's counted as a finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say if you see credit screen, you've beat the game.
Right. Agreed. Someone's asking me to add their 3DS. Unfortunately, I cannot because, what have I played on this game? Do I want to play Mario Golf today? You know, I'll pass on golf today. I'm not going to play it. I want to play golf, but I don't know. Yesterday when I was playing it, it was just frustrating, and I just need a break from it.
Yeah, if a game frustrates you, don't bother. I've got a bunch of guys wanting me to play Rogue, my my gaming clan, and as much as I love playing with them and playing Rogue, just not in the mood to play anything overly competitive because I've been working so much.
Hmm.
So I just want to relax, play games. So and I find that if you play it, it won't be as satisfying to play, and you'll be less likely to play it later. Like you'll be like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, so, back in, I think it was 2011, my brother had Kirby's Epic Yarn, and he had Donkey Kong. And every time he wanted to play Donkey Kong, you know what I told him? I told him I'd rather play Kirby's Epic Yarn. Because Kirby's Epic Yarn was a more relaxing game, and I just wasn't in the mood at the time to play a more, because Donkey Kong, the platformer that was released on the Wii, was definitely more, trying to think of the word.
Stressful?
Just what's up?
Stressful? Challenging?
Yeah, it was more challenging. I just like the pace of the Kirby's game better. I thought the pacing in Kirby was better. Catch this fish. What did I catch?
Actually, I recently started playing Kirby when I got it on my NES Classic.
Yeah.
Because I had the Super Nintendo by the time Kirby came out, right? So I didn't play it on the NES or the Game Boy. So I didn't pick it up till fairly recently. I'd say 2019, and that's a really good franchise. It's an absolutely fantastic franchise. I'm surprised we don't see more of it, as much or more than Mario, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would honestly say it's better in a lot of aspects.
Wait, what is better in a lot of aspects? Say that again.
Kirby's Dream Land,
Oh.
everything Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby is a lot of fun. I enjoy Kirby games a lot. I think the thing I like the most about a Kirby game is that they're usually generally very chill. They're not hard to play, and they're just very go at your own pace. Like, if you wanted to beat a Kirby game very quickly, it's not hard to beat a Kirby game in the snap of a finger. But at the same time, if you want to take your time and you want to enjoy the enemies, you can do that too, which I always enjoy about a Kirby game.
Yeah, like I said, it's only recently that I even discovered the franchise, and I'm kind of glad because it gives me something new to try out on my old consoles. Well, new I say, but sorry, I'm also playing while
It's
I'm
alright.
talking to you. A little distracted. I'm actually getting my ass kicked at Shinobi. Which never happens. Like, what the fuck is going on?
You know, I have to say, like, after the whole online bullying situation from 4 years ago, I always thought that my career was over. I shouldn't say career, but, like, my ability to stream was over. And then I find out it's like, oh, people do move on. I mean, it's not that the internet never forgets. They do remember, but the thing is, I think people do start to move on with their lives. Like, there's only so much that they're gonna do to, like, bring up that live stream from 4 years ago. They're gonna look back and they're just gonna be like, who really cared about that? There was nothing of merit of that, you know?
Well, that's the thing. people are resilient, people are forgiving. It's the ones that don't, they're assholes anyways. Who gives a shit what they think?
Exactly.
I've literally, I'm a zero fucks given kind of guy, right? So
That's a good
I
way to
don't
look at it.
I don't care. You want to be mad at me? Fine. You want to cancel me? Fine. Go right ahead. I honestly don't give a shit.
Right.
Because if you're going to sit there and do that, you obviously don't matter. So, like, why am I letting these people's opinions even bother me?
And like they have way too much free time on their hand.
Well, they do, because a lot of them don't have jobs. A lot of them
Generally
don't have.
speaking, no, you're right. They don't. Like, and I always think it's funny when they criticize you, and it's like, well, do you know me as a person? Have you met me before? No. Have you had a conversation with me? I mean, I can definitely tell you I'm not like the scum of the earth that the person that like hated my guts did in the video. And it's like the funny thing is like it was all vindictive. It was all because he didn't want to pay me back. He owed me for it was like a plane flight that which I look back and I'm like I would have loved to have seen him not fly out of his situation that he was in, because he would have been screwed. But he says that now, like he says he wish he never had my help, but the bottom line is like he would have taken any help that he had gotten. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have taken anybody's help, regardless if it was someone he liked or didn't like. But he basically turned out to be the kind of person that was like, oh, you served your usefulness and function? Well, I don't have to be friends with you no longer. And I'm like, well, if you're going to burn bridges like that, watch what happens back. So,
Yep. Well, the thing is, too, like, people like that, like, that are going to use you, what I would do is I'd be like, yeah, this person literally used me. They're going to use you, too. So if you want to believe what they're saying, then that's, you want to be gullible, go right ahead.
exactly. And that's basically, in my opinion, what's going to happen with I mean, his channel's basically dead. I don't think he's uploaded anything for, like, how many months now? Let me see how many. When's the last time this guy uploaded that, like, bull and harassed me? And then the other guy in the stream actually passed away because he, took his own life, so that was great. The last time he uploaded, I don't want to hear his screen, was 5 months ago. Shit. I know he's building up his, I guess his wife's channel. And his wife does a lot of streams. And from what I see, they make a lot of money, but, like, if you look at it, or, like, it's definitely them dressed up in, like, low-cut shirts and short shorts.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, so it's kinda...
Gotta appreciate the hustle. That's about it, right?
Yeah. I just look at it and I'm just like, so let me get this straight. You accused me of selling myself on the Switch line, but now your wife is basically, you are a cuck. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Oof, bro. That's rough.
Massive, like, I guess, like, I have to say, like, I'm impressed at the hustle. Like, apparently, like, apparently in this stream, she made 1,800, no, she didn't make 800, that was probably cumulative. Let me compare it to the last stream she did, just for shits and giggles.
But is she hot? Like, or just, like, all
I'll show you a
is
picture,
mediocre? Like,
She's
I don't know
not
if you
bad
noticed this.
looking, I'll definitely say, she's got some goods, like, she's not unattractive. There's a picture.
Let's see here. I'm sorry, I pause my game here. I'll pull it up. I've dated hotter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but I've noticed that a lot. A lot of, I don't know.
I just feel like it's starting to be like softcore. Like, it's like if I wanted to go that route, I would just upload a website and go there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, if you're gonna do it, then do it. But I mean, a lot of people don't like. I don't think, for whatever reason, they seem to think there's a difference. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you're doing soft core. There's not much difference between what you're doing and what Pornhub's doing, for example.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
There's not much difference really. So if you're gonna do it, like, why not? If that's your shtick, then you know, unless that's the thing where you go on Twitch and you build up an audience, and then you just go, you know, Full Metal Jacket or whatever, you know what I mean?
And
But
there's definitely a lot of like
because I think
thumbnails
that
where
might be
like
the thing.
they're showing butts, they're showing boobs, and I look at that and I'm like, okay, let's be real here. Are you really playing games or are you just playing games? Right?
Exactly.
Like, are you playing the game or are you just playing the system so you can get people to I mean, I'm not saying you can't do that. It's not like against the law or anything. Like I don't think YouTube will say, "Oh, you can't do this kind of material." But it does come into questions like, well, your content's not really very wholesome. They're not coming for you. They're just coming for. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I've been there. Like if I'm a part of this gay group. I think it's called Bears Looking on Facebook. And if I post a shirtless pic, I will get hundreds of guys crawling at my door, be like, "Oh my God, what are your digits? Oh, I need to see you. Oh my God, you're so amazing. You're so hot." And I'm not trying to be conceited about it. It's just like that's what happens when you put yourself out there. It's like usually you'll get some if you're at least a decent enough looking person, you'll get something. Now the question is it the kind of attention that you should want to desire for? Not all the
Right.
time. Like
No, like even me, like as I'm an older dude, but no, I get hit on from time to time, and it's great, and maybe that's what they're after. Maybe it's that type of rush. You never know.
right,
But I mean, again, it's a hustle. I mean, this day and age, it seems to sell. I mean, it
right.
always has, but I mean, it's just that seems to be the thing these days. Um, I don't know.
I guess people's libidos are like on
All
like
the time.
overdrive because pandemic is like crazy. But I feel like that almost creates an addiction. It's like, oh, I need to get off, and I need to do this, and it's just like
Yeah,
this.
dude, you're absolutely right. You're gonna see more of it too. So, like, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you were all locked in, and I mean, for the most part, you have to admit that a lot of us are kind of hedonistic these days. So
Very much so.
it's going to be a thing, right? And now that people are locked up, it's even worse. Right now, whatever they were trying to get before, they haven't been able to get, so they're going to go. It's like any other addiction.
Right, exactly. Let's see. Let me see if he's open your island. Let's see if I can do this real quickly. And then I have to do some calls after this. So I've got, what is it, 134, and then I gotta. Alright.
Nice. What's up, dude?
Sorry. Sneezing. Allergies, I guess. Let's see. What else am I thinking of right now? It's 135. Okay, so he's opening gates now, so I get to explore his island. I need to put some stuff away. So what else do you got going on today?
Nothing actually, as far as I know. I'm supposed to be going someplace with my wife and my daughter later today, so I'm hoping to do that. But
Nice.
other than that, maybe some coding because I got most of the day off. I had to go in this morning, of course, because I always have to work.
You always have to work. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate. Well, I have to
it
work
is
today too
unfortunate.
at 3. But, I'm kind of getting used to it, and it's not that bad. Although I had a weird dream last night. Should I tell you what it was? It was pretty risque.
It's totally up to you.
So I had a dream that I was watching adult entertainment at work, and I woke up thinking to myself, no, I wouldn't do that. Like, as tempting as that would be like, to break the status quo to do something, like, completely raunchy like that,
Yeah.
Like there are certain boundaries that I just don't cross. Like, is it tempting to be a little like devious at work sometimes? I mean, I've had those moments at my old hospital job. I mean, I had this one patient. He yelled in my face because he uh he didn't want to take his food order. He just didn't want to eat. He was just pissed off, and it was all crazy. And so I was just like, I remember I left that room, and I was like, okay, Nicholas, how am I going to deal with this? This guy just screamed in my face, and he was totally rude to me. And then I decided to play victim to the nurse. So I go up to the nurse, and I was like, hi, are you the nurse for that room? She's like, yes, I'm Mary. Oh my god, that man was so mean to me. He screamed in my face, and he was so torn. She's like, oh my god, Nick, don't worry. I'm gonna go talk to that patient for you. And then she goes up, excuse me, but that young man tried to take your diet order. And he just screamed right back at her. And she's like, well, sir, if you can't be cooperative, then maybe you should have a psych eval. And I just made this joke to one of my friends. I was like, when you really think about it, hospitals are kind of like prisons.
They kind of are.
I mean, I'm not even saying that in like a degrading way or a mean way, but it's like, it's like you go to a hospital because you have a health problem, right? And you get admitted because there's an underlying case or condition that hasn't been resolved over a certain course of period or time, and they're trying to do what they can to mitigate the problem or solve the problem. And, maybe when you get discharged, they'll give you some instructions of, just relax when you get home and don't worry anything, or take these antibiotics for X amount of time. Like things like that. And, I think, like, the thing when it comes to health is, like, there's definitely no perfect answer as far as how you should conduct oneself. Because you could technically get over a sickness and then get sick again anyway. It just all comes down to, like, how you react, how you live your life. Because
Yep.
you could be like, you go to the hospital for, like, I don't know, like high cholesterol issues or bowel issues. And let's say they give you, like, some helpful hints. Oh, eat some fiber and do this. And then you take on the task of what they say to do. And you do it, and you get better, and you feel better about yourself. But then over time, you slip pizza back into your diet, or you slip cake in, or you slip, and then you stop exercising, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, little things like that. And they start building up. It's like, oh, I'm back here again. I wonder why. It's like, oh, because, I did something that, that deviated too much from the pattern that I was supposed to be doing to get well. I kind of am
Yep.
confused with it when it comes to like hydration needs. Because there are times I'm like, I'm not even thirsty, and people tell me to drink water. And I'm like, but I'm not even thirsty. Like, is that
Well, by the
weird?
time you're thirsty, it's too late, eh?
Right,
A
that's what
lot of
I've
people don't
heard.
realize that. Like if you're already slightly dehydrated. That's your body's way of saying, "Hey, dude, you need water," right?
Right. But it's like, is it like, are you gonna sit down and like, because ideally, like, just pounding down a gallon of water, uh, a day is not ideal. Like, from what I've heard, the idea is you're supposed to drink every few hours.
Yes.
Like, drink when you're thirsty, and ideally drink, like, little sips out the day. Because, like, that's what they do, like, because this is why, like, school is a perfect environment. Because they have fountains everywhere. And I know,
Yep.
I can tell you, like, after every class, I would almost get a drink of water. I would almost always get a drink of water. And it would just be a little bit. It would just, like, quench my throat.
Hmm.
And I feel like maybe that's kind of the problem, like, in today's society, is that we don't, like, try to hydrate effectively. Some of us try to, like, really pound down the water, and then we don't realize that we're just, like, well, we're just pissing everything out. I mean, I guess if you want a kidney flush, it's effective for that. It'll definitely clean out your kidneys, but maybe you'll get some benefit for your colon, but most likely it won't do as much benefit as you want it to, though.
Agreed.
Because you have to do it like throughout the day. You have to like usually what I do is I wake up, I have a drink of water, and then I run, and then I have a drink of water afterwards. So I'm like I'm training my body to hydrate itself. and then I eat breakfast, and then I try to keep it within 3 meals, maybe 4 at the most. Because there's this like YouTuber, her name is Amberlynn Reed, and
Hmm.
she's like 600 pounds, and I'm like, how do you eat
Ouch.
that? How do you eat that much food?
Well, see, your stomach expands. Like
Right.
the more you eat, the bigger it gets.
I mean, granted, like during the day, your stomach's gonna expand and it's gonna decompress.
Yeah.
Because ideally, it's like your food is like generally like moving down your system. It's like
Hmm.
ideally it would take. I think I've read this. It can take as little as 12 hours, or as fat, or as long as 72 to get out of your system.
Really.
Because you have because your small intestines. I think I remember this as a kid. Like my teacher brought this rope into class, and she would tie it around herself like 7.5 times, and she's like, "This is how big your small intestines is. You could go a long time without food, guys. Like you
Oh
don't
yeah.
need."
You can you can go a very very long time without eating. Like you can clean your system right out. Like actually, that's one of the things that I do. I do a lot of intermittent fasting.
Fasting. Yeah.
Now I'm a 40 plus guy. I'm 5 foot 11 inches and I weigh 160 pounds. Tiny guy. And throughout my entire life, it's always been like that, right? So, like, I weighed 145 pounds from 1997 to 2019. Never gained any weight, never lost any weight.
Oh my god, I want that
And
kitchen island. Sorry, I have to tell Shadow to drop some bells. Go on.
no worries. Anyway, so I find that all I ever did was I ate when I was hungry, slept when I was tired. Um, I drank water throughout the day, never when I was really thirsty, just whenever I happened to be next to a place where I could get water. And as I got older, I would push my limits to how long I can go without food and how long
Right.
I can go without water. So now I can easily go without eating. I can easily go like a week, easily without an issue.
I could probably go a day without food, maybe two if I'm lucky. I'm trying to remember. Actually, I want to take that back. I think the longest I ever went without food was 4 days. And this is when I was sick in high school.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it. I just felt very miserable and depressed.
Oh yeah, you feel like shit, but you can do
Oh,
it.
yeah, you can. I just felt like I remember specifically I had some virus and I I was gonna go to Canyon Ranch. This was when I was in high school's junior year, and we are going to Canyon Ranch. But then I pull up and I'm sick, and so they're like, "Oh, I guess he's kicking me off his island." Okay, that's a shame. I would have liked to stay longer and get the thing, but I guess I'll take what I can get.
You can kick people off your island?
Yeah, you can if you hit the minus button and hit end session, you can just. He's got to go to dinner. It's cool. It's cool. You gotta do your thing. I'm not like holding you up. Be like, why can't I get my kitchen island? I'm like, nah, it's fine. Ooh, praying mantis. I need to catch that. And then I'll probably end. It's almost 2. I need to like. You'll give me more bells later. Yeah. To be fair, Shadow, just let him know. Just 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 buy me that kitchen island and send it to me. Okay, so here's my kind of health problem that's kind of reoccurring that I'm trying to like master. So lately, I've had slight bowel issues, we'll just say that. They're not terrible. Sometimes I'll have constipation, sometimes I won't. So I'm eating more fiber, which is what I'm told to do. I'm exercising more, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to think too much about it, but it's like, it's hard for me not to. I usually find it advantageous when I run a really long period of time in the morning and then eat something because that kind of clears my gut out and then my stomach's happy.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Are you lactose intolerant?
I want to say I'm on the borderline. Like I'm
Then
not
cereal.
like
Cereal.
I don't have dairy, Like my cereal is, I have it with oat milk in the morning.
Yeah, have it with actual milk. Guaranteed you will not have problems.
I don't want to have that kind of evacuation, to be fair. Because that can be very aggressive to me.
Yeah,
I
that
just,
would be.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I definitely want to have it. Like, so my cereal, it's this, like, honey flax cereal. And I put in, like, blueberries and banana and sometimes strawberries. And I try to make sure. And I definitely do, like, a lot of smoothies. Like that I've been doing a lot
Cheese.
frequently. What's up?
Maybe eat some cheese throughout the day. Take some blocks of cheese with you during the day.
Hmm.
Because I know cheese and yogurts are really, really good for. Because I eat a lot of cheese and I eat a lot of yogurts and stuff. I try to avoid cereals because again, violent evacuation. But I find that throughout the day, like a couple pieces of cheese,
Yeah.
you know, the odd glass of milk, like half glass,
I guess prunes could help too.
that'll work and it's good for you.
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah,
maybe I should
yogurts,
resort to that more often.
yeah, it's not such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Actually, I should probably switch to it. That and probably some grapefruit juice would be nice. But I
Yeah,
mean,
grapefruit juice is great.
I haven't been taking care of myself because I mean, like my work schedule does not allow me to, and I've been eating a lot of fast food, which probably accounts for my weight gain. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't
that
believe it.
would.
Jumped on the scale.
And then not to mention, not only does it, like, here's the problem that not only is it about weight gain, it affects your gut flora. Like, it affects you more than you think. Like, over time you might not notice it, but not only do you gain weight, but your bowels slow. Like, things get moved slower down your system. And it
Oh
takes
yeah.
longer for it to get out. Like, there was a video I watched about this 80-year-old grandmother who ate a pound of chocolate and she strained herself having a movement and it caused her to have an aneurysm. And I was
Oof.
like, it makes a lot of sense because, fat is very hard to move through your system. And unless you're having, like, unless it's fat that's, like, not saturated, and it's fat that's, like, poly or mono, like if it's fish, or if it's vegetables and fruits, that'll pass easier through your system, through your gut. And it's like, unless you're doing like 30 miles every day. Like I remember when I was what's it called? When I was in cross country, when I was a high school student, I mean, my system would evacuate itself every meal. Like it was that on point. And I was that impressed by it. And then I kind of taken for granted for it, but I never realized that like part of the reason why I was so efficient in going to the bathroom was because I would run and I would play like probably 3 hours of DDR. And that I
Really?
think that level of physical activity trained my gut to be very effective.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because my system when I was younger was about the same as yours. I did a lot of biking, like, because I live in the damn bush, right? It's a 3 mile bike ride to to my friend's house.
And then, like,
Very
the
much my
advantage
life.
of it is that, it kind of keeps your stomach at a more reasonable level. So, because everybody wants to eat more than what they think they need. Like, that's generally, like, a rule of thumb. Like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, I've had a friend, like, that I cooked for, and he would demolish everything because he thought he needed so much food throughout the day. When in reality, you can train yourself to rely on as little food as possible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And less is really more in the eyes of everything.
Agreed. If you can temper yourself to control, like, see, I have a problem where back in, I think it was 99, I actually starved for 2 weeks. That sucked. And ever since then, you put a plate of food in front of me, it doesn't matter what it is, I will clean it up. And I eat fast. I barely chew my food. Trust me, that is not good for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that capable because it goes right through you sometimes. You don't
Oh yeah.
absorb it. Yeah, I've taken my time to like really enjoy my meals. I think that was part of my problem in San Diego. There was just something about my routine. Like it was fine for a while, but then I just felt really drained. And I felt like I was just going through the motions half the time. I felt like I was not really living. I was just basically just doing one thing to do the next to get to the next thing, and I was just like, I'm really not enjoying anything anymore. What's going on with me?
Yep. Well, your emotional state can wreak havoc
Oh yeah.
on on your system, right? Because I mean, your brain doesn't just affect your your thoughts and your emotions. It affects every system in your body, and your
Oh yeah.
nervous system is part of your brain. So when you're not feeling, when you're emotionally, I don't know, when you're affected emotionally, it affects you throughout your entire system, right?
Right.
Which is why it's extremely important to have mental health. Like, for example, I've noticed that because I've been working so much and I've been putting under so much stress, um, I've noticed that my metabolism has slowed down. I'm tired all the time. It'll make you depressed. A lot of stress will make you depressed, or at least mimic the the symptoms of depression, which again also affects the rest of your system, right? Like
Right.
um, your movements, your ability to function in whatever capacity will be diminished exponentially uh,
Right.
in relationship to your emotional and mental state.
Oh yeah.
So it's just as good to keep your mind sharp as much as it is to keep your body physically fit.
Right. Of course.
And I believe the two are not. I believe the two are intrinsic to each other. You keep your mind active and your body active as well, and you
Right.
tend to be a little bit um, happier, healthier, etc. Right? The benefits. Reading, for example, a lot of reading. I do a lot of reading, um,
Yeah.
and I think it's beneficial to make sure that um, you've got a good regimen of doing. Thankfully, like you play video games, so like me, you're constantly engaged.
Right.
So you know, keeping your mind active is definitely important.
Agreed.
So maybe the troubles you've been having might be related to your mental state.
It was. It was. It was definitely. I think I just needed like the break that I needed, and I definitely
Yeah,
got it, and it definitely made me better. But it also made me really appreciate um, being a bit more honest with people, because sometimes like I'm caught in this circle where I want to tell someone the truth, I want to tell them how I really feel, but then I'm always either afraid how they're going to feel or what they're going to do. And sometimes I need to remember how to tailor it to the person. Like, I can't
yeah,
always expect that, like, if I tell someone something, I'm going to get the result that I need or
right,
want. So,
right.
it's definitely tricky because it's
Well,
like I genuinely try to be as nice as possible, but people will take kindness as like a threat for some reason.
yeah. Well, see, I noticed and I know he's controversial, and a lot of people don't like listening to him. But Jordan Peterson said, um, you know, uh, what did he say? Always tell the truth, or at the very least, don't lie.
Hmm.
And I find that to be very effective. Like, you don't have to. Sometimes you just don't have to say anything.
True.
Like, um, and that's and you shouldn't worry so much about how other people feel. To be
Yeah.
because the thing is if you're not honest with them, and shit goes sideways, that sits on you,
True.
right? So, and it also damages the person that you're trying to help, right? Because you obviously knew there was something wrong, or for whatever reason, and you didn't do what was needed in order to stop it. And you know, so you got to take those things into account. Like if my wife, for example, and this has got me into trouble. How does this look? Well, it looks like shit. You know what I mean? I will
Yeah,
say that.
that's a case of like, tact in what you say is definitely important. And it's like if you feel like what someone's wearing isn't good, you can definitely give them a nudge, but maybe not to be so not maybe bluntness does have its like place, but maybe not always.
Yeah, well, I'm always blunt, right? I mean, we've been together for 20 years this year, actually. So I mean, I'm sure she appreciates it. Because like if I would expect no less, right? If I'm wearing something that makes me look like shit, I'm hoping to hell she's gonna say, you look like shit. You know what I mean?